Republican from Ohio, with us here. And Senator, good morning and welcome back to America's
Bill,
Newsroom.
thanks for having me back on again.
I've got a couple things here. Just want to run by you. Late on Friday, Mitch McConnell said he misspoke. His quote, "You can't guarantee absolutely no one sees a tax increase." In addition, you're here to make the case that this is good for growth. I think on the corporate side, you've made a pretty good case. On the individual side, you got a long way to go. Go ahead and state your argument now, Senator.
Well, first, with regard to the middle-class tax cut, it's real. The Joint Committee on Taxation, which is the nonpartisan group up on the Hill, just came out with their analysis over the weekend, and it shows that middle-class families across the board get tax relief. And so, to Mitch McConnell's point, every group gets tax relief here. The difference is that the burden of taxation shifts so that those at the top end, say the top 1%, are going to pay a little bit more of the burden, and those in the middle class are going to pay less of the burden.
Why not just
in Ohio, Bill, the number is 20.
Cut spending, and that way you can reduce everybody's taxes, and you get around this entire debate, and you don't have to jump through hoops to explain it.
Well, I don't think we have to jump through hoops, because I think this is actually going to result in more revenue coming into the federal government over the next 10 years than we've got now. I mean, the tax code is so hopelessly broken. So for the middle class in Ohio, median income family, $2,375 per family. That helps right now, Bill, because people's salaries are flat, their wages are flat, and yet expenses are up. But the exciting part in terms of growth is on the business side. And it's not about businesses, it's about workers. And you and I have talked about this before, but our code right now is actually driving jobs and investment overseas. And that's crazy. This will actually bring that back. And so the analysis is $1.2 trillion in additional revenue over the next 10 years. If that happens, and I believe it will, and I think that's a conservative estimate, that will actually decrease the deficit over the next 10 years. Should we focus on the spending side? Of course. And Republicans are doing that all the time relative to Democrats, as you know. Yeah, that's a fight we've got all the time.
I think you make some good points.
But this is about stimulating the economy.
I think you make some good points on the corporate side. Chuck Schumer has a point to make about an election 12 months from now if this bill passes. He said this on the floor of the Senate.
I say to every one of my Republican colleagues in the House who come from a suburban district, this bill could be your political doom.
What he's referring to is the election in Virginia last Tuesday, the suburbs of Atlanta that was pointed out last week in the Washington Post. What do you think about that, portending 12 months from now?
I love when Chuck Schumer gives advice to Republicans. Pretty partisan guy. Look, the best thing to do, in my view, is to get stuff done that helps people. And that's exactly what tax reform does. We should also do some other things to help people in terms of getting their health care costs down, in terms of having a regulatory system that makes more sense so that people aren't spending so much time filling out paperwork and red tape and helping on worker retraining. But tax reform is something people are crying out for because they know the code is broken. They know it's too complicated. They know it's driving businesses and jobs and investment overseas. So I think if we can get this thing done, Bill, it'll help every American. And that's the point. And that'll also help in terms of the election. That's not why you should do it. You should do it because it's the right thing to do.